Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to Procrastinator's Pit Stop. We are sitting here today with Jacopo Iasiello. Raised in Naples, Italy, discovered entrepreneurship at age 11 and overcame a career-ending soccer injury to launch a thriving jewelry chain before transitioning into profitable real estate ventures and forging relationships with elite investors. Armed with a PhD in international business management and over 350 real estate transactions, he credits his MPBE method, which is meditate, morning, pray, biohacking exercise, and insights from mentors like Tony Robbins and Robert Kiyosaki for achieving holistic success and financial freedom. Jacopo, welcome to the show.
Chris, thank you to invite me to the show. And we already have a beautiful conversation before, but I continue to have this conversation with you. And first of all, how I shared with you before, my main goal over here is to try to give to your audience the all my heart, all my mind, at the maximum of my experience to them.
And we definitely appreciate you having you here. And we're going to dive into a lot of great topics today. But before we do like to have a little bit of an icebreaker on the show. And the question for you today is, which cartoon character do you resonate with the most and why?
Which cartoon?
Yes.
Wow, beautiful. This is the first time I received this question. I think so, the Conan the Barbarian, I am. Like somebody where through all my life, I really go in the war with, first of all, myself. And after I find peace in my heart, I receive what I want. Means financial free, love on my family, love on my companion. And now I have in the fourth phase of my life, it's like contribution.
I like that. I think that's the first time I've heard Conan the Barbarian come up.
Because, in reality, everybody, we have a little bit inside us, we working with like against who is the question. The majority of the time we have against ourselves because we put limitation in our mind. And for this reason, I feel Conan the Barbarian and, now with a different heart,
I like it. I like it. So before we dive into the other things, we do like to have this question for you. How do you define procrastination, and what does it mean to you personally?
Yeah, the procrastination is something so part of the, I don't call with this name, but with the dark sides of everybody. I never use some hard word because better how hard work, because better than me. Each word we use in our life will create something in our mind, in our body, and everything. But in reality, procrastination is something is not serve ourselves. And when we receive something where we want to postpone, we need go through this first, sensation. And for example, for myself, like entrepreneur, like investor, I have during my day, different moment where I receive this kind of emotion. But I go through this kind of emotion and I ultimate, really positioning my mind through different kind of action to don't be procrastinate and work every time, wherever is not working, wherever I don't like, for the first thing in the morning,
Yeah, I like that. So you would say that you and again, there's no one real kind of silver bullet or cure for everything, right? And it's not even about a cure. It's about just moving forward. You would say yours is more like eating the frog, those difficult tasks in the morning.
Yeah, like I learned something so important. Remember, I coming from sport. My story is coming from sport. What this means, I really leave my house early at 14 years old, moving in other city in Italy, play professional soccer, come back, I have a big injury, cry, fix sadness, and I have really understand something important. To moving forward in our life, we need to have some kind of difficulty. And I create everyday difficulty in my life, and I will explain better. Now, will looks like crazy, but in reality, for example, when you break in the morning something small, like I do cold shower, okay? Every day in the morning, 4:30 in the morning, 3 minutes every day, slowly, but every day constant. You starting to moving your mind in the direction where every day in my morning I tell, hey, I don't want to do this cold shower. I don't want to do this cold shower. I don't want to do this. I go through, and after when I come out, I feel better. Now, related to procrastination, it's technically the same. First of all, each entrepreneur, each investor, each businessman, we are completely different because we are different human beings, but we feel the same emotion. Quindi, technically, we are the same. Now, so important is something I want to share with your audience, Chris, is this one. First of all, it's so important to understand if the procrastination go through some task where this task moving 10 steps of your goal, and if you procrastinate in this kind of task, the task so important to bring you on the next level, you make a big mistake in your life. Because first of all, I every day in the morning what I do, I organize the day before my day after. I focalize in the first task so important. And how I define this, I don't define with emotion, but I define with something so important. For example, how is important for me this podcast now to share my book Healthy, Rich and Happy? And how is important to touch other human being? For me, have a level of A in my life in this moment. What this means, I go through the task, I create the task for the day after, and I already know which is the task I don't like, but I go through because I know the importance of this task.
I like that. Laying it out the night before, right? It helps to keep your mind clear for the night and gets you set up for the next day. Now, really want to ask you about this next method, which I'm assuming you're going to explain a little bit. The MPBE method. Where did that come from?
Chris, coming how everything is coming in our life is coming from dark moment. The dark moment is coming when I create, like in my country, Italy, where I coming from, like a company, a big company in the jewelry space, where I create this company with a multi-millionaire success. I create multiple company. I betrayed to some partner in some business. If I decide to leave, my country to find opportunity in United States, what this means around 28 years old, I continue to have my company with, big number, but I started to lose revenue. And if I make good amount of wealth to stay comfortable in my country, I decide I'm so young that at that time I want to achieve different kind of success, see what's happening to the other part of the world. Find through Zillow, the opportunity real estate. I already invest in Italy real estate, in the auction in particular. And I started to see the opportunity with the subprime mortgage, what's happening in the United States. Take one flight, go to the other part of the world, and starting the real estate path. And I think so it's so important to recognize in our life this point, because this point is when you're moving from one direction to another one. And the moment where I create this method is coming when I go back for the first 3-4 years to Italy, to United States, to Italy, to United States, because initially it's not easy for me. Don't speak English, don't have any kind of connection. Really, I remember like yesterday, I slept on the floor because from the other part of the phone, the lady from FPA, they don't connect me the light because they don't understand me, because at that time I don't speak English, and I feel this emotion. And I arrive at the point where I feel everything outside moving my direction, and I need to find something inside me. And I realized through one my friend, the name is Domenico. This guy every time have this beautiful smile, this beautiful energy. And I asked him, what's happening in your life? Why you have this smile, this energy? And he told me, hey, I do meditation transcendental, and I starting to meditate and completely changed my life. I started to go deeply, and from over there, starting this method where I, add another important aspect, the morning part. The morning part for me is working, but it's not for everybody. Working why? Because I understand, I ask to myself when my body, my mind, my spirit, everything is working better. And I know now for 4:30 in the morning until 2 p.m., my energy is so high, I need to utilize this time on the correct moment. And I utilize meditation and morning to push myself, my mind in the direction where I need to go. And the other part of the method coming with experience, with the aging, because I am 41 years old, and I really understand in the last uh, you know 6 years the importance to be connected with the divine, whatever you wanna call God, or if you coming from different religion like Hindu or whatever, we have only under one divine. But if we don't utilize this divine correctly, technically we really missing one part of our life. And the other part is pray, but this pray, different kind of pray, is activation pray. What it means is this one. Everybody have one way to pray, and the pray where somebody teach to us. Possible in my case, my grandmother teach me how pray, and you pray in general without any effort. Now I learn activation pray. What this means activation pray is something where first of all I go deeper in my heart and I pray to somebody or some situation near me or distance to me or some human being I find during my day. Second of all, I ask to the divine, whatever you want to call, please give me during this day something, and I go really clear with visualization during my prayer where I need to go with my day. For example, in this moment, I visualize in the morning our conversation, and this gives you power. Why power? Because until you don't define, if you don't define every morning with clarity, which kind of person you want to give love and what you want to request to the divine specific, you are in confusion. And how we spoke before, when you are in confusion, you don't have anything clear. But remember, confusion is coming before the clarity. But the clarity is the point to arrive. And pray, give me clarity. And the fourth aspect of this method is exercise. But exercise, generic exercise. But, because, sorry, the third method is biohacking, where it's including different kind of technique. Means like I use device to, improve my subconscious. I use like some kind of technique where like I use breath technique. I use cold water to change my direction of my emotion during the day. And the fourth one is exercise. Exercise specific for me means the big mistake everybody we make, we want to be, I want to be like a Chris, I want to be like a Tony, I want to be like Jacopo, whatever. In reality, we have the same emotion, but we are different doing the exercise. And for this reason, I do something so important. I study my body, my fat, everything. And every day I work with specific goal and I control every month where I go with my exercise. And the same with food and with integration of product I integrate myself. Now, why I explain this? Because it's so important. Like, I don't have the crystal ball to give this method to everybody, working to everybody, but I know for sure 1000% this method will work for you if you utilize wherever you want, when you want, in different time of your day. But you need to find the way how is working your body, your mind, and ask your question to yourself.
Thank you for going so deep into that.
You
You said a couple of things there that I kind of want to latch on to. One of them was the activation prayer, and I mean, you are right, and I think this goes back to a little bit of the conversation we had before, where you were saying that we need to be clear, on so many things, and right now some people are very clear, but they're only clear on what they don't want. So they wind up getting up every day and start praying for what they don't want. Is there a way to segue into maybe getting some clarity in what you actually want?
Yes, really important. First of all, you need to use every day something to remember wherever you need to go. And I use different kind the technique. The first one will be the easy one, the journal, where I ask, first of all, I organize every year with all my goal. I organize every month with 1 day to dedicate to review the month before, where I went, where I go in the 12 aspect of my life, means emotionally, business, financially, career, all these aspects. Every month, every year, I take couple of weeks to organize the new year. Every month, I use 1 day to review the month before. Every week, I use 3-4 hours to see what's happening in my last week. And every day I organize, I have clear what I need to do. This is the first aspect. The second aspect, because every day I know my mind is a monkey mind, is moving from one side to another side, bam, 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 like this, and I know how it's working. Is my mind like your is a creation of something so important, but in the same time, if we don't direct, it's not working correctly. The other aspect I remember to myself, first of all, with the journal, second of all, with something I write where I have clear and I reread every day where is my goal, where I need to go for do this year. And I read and I visualize. Third one, I listening, what this means I recording the 12 aspect of my life where I want to go. And in this recording, I put something powerful because first of all, I recording my voice where I tell, financially, I want to go from this amount of money to this amount of money. I want to create this one. And plus, I add some message from some big name. It's possible be motivational word coming from somebody like Tony Robbins or somebody coming from like Madre Teresa, San Francisco, wherever. And with my voice, I repeat every day, 3 times a day to remember. In the morning, when I wake up at 4:30 in the morning, I put in my ear. When my energy go down around 2 p.m., I take the second aspect of my meditation during this time to recharge my life, and I listening after my meditation. This is my word, and I read. And the third time before I go to sleep, I do the same. Means I reprogram my mind, I read, and I listening. Like this, I cover all the aspect of my day where when I go to sleep, I have clarity of my mind where I need to go. When I wake up, I repeat. When I am in the middle of the day, when my energy, because I know is go down, I repeat and I put gasoline in my mind, in my body.
I really like that, and those are sort of like mini, almost like mini rest stations, but they're not really rest stations. They are recharging stations, right? For those times when you need to pull out your energy and your purpose again. Is that right?
Yes, super right. Because you know what's happening during the day, we handling different kind the relationship. First of all, with ourselves, with the doubt, problem. I know I don't want. Second of all, with people we interact. Maybe we receive one call. It's not like we go with the car and we rush ourselves. We have some problem. The reality is fine in our day, the moment to close our eyes and remember where is your goal. Because everybody, we have a goal. But if we don't remember constantly, our mind is not focused 100%. It's working like this. We have the same thought every day. I don't remember which is the number, but it's really high number. Every day, the same thought. Now, if you want something, you need to clarify every time yourself. And this is the most important aspect because if you don't clarify, you will have a car, but without direction. But if you have a car without direction, you don't know where you go. And finally, the last day of your life, you will find one place where you don't want to stay. And this, Chris, I will share with you something important because from a really young age, I have this passion to learn from different kind of human being. First of all, entrepreneur and businessman, but too for normal people. I speak a lot with homeless, with a lot of different kind of humanity. I have a billionaire friend, and I have super, people without nothing. And I have the same respect, the same capacity to understand both in the same way. And what's happening, what I learned something important. It's so important to identify where, why some kind of people they obtain some kind of success, other people that obtain some kind of success. And the point is only one, what I see. I see the people that are focalized, they are clarity, they are really the direction where they want to go, they will achieve because they have faith inside. The other people, they are people they're moving, stop, they're moving to another path. They don't see, they don't understand, they don't have clarity, they don't have energy because true energy is a process to create. Only working with motivation only is not working. What with creation of energy is something completely different.
You touched on something really, I think, really deep there too. But I guess one of my questions to you is, what would you say to someone who, it's not that they don't have clarity, but we live in a world where we have distractions every single day. We get up, we're bombarded by social media, we're bombarded by opinions, mothers, fathers, friends, teachers, coworkers, bosses, whoever Susan is down the street who's 3 times removed from my friend's cousin's third sister who I met at some wedding, right? So we keep getting all these different opinions, and that sometimes causes us to, I guess, falter and not be clear. And how do we keep the clarity for ourselves?
The clarity becoming, first of all, to clarify yourself, to if you have clarity after around you, you started to have doubt happening in my life. And I spoke with my fiance a couple hours ago. When I go back to my country in Italy, where I coming from, Napoli, I have in Napoli good moment and bad moment. This kind of situation, good and bad, like everybody we have, sometimes trick my mind, my emotion, and everything. But why? Because it's so important to working with people around us, they will give energy and they will bring energy to us. Now, somebody from your audience maybe possible tell me, hey, yes, it's easy for you, but I live with my mother, with my father. They are really don't give me the idea where I want. I have different idea, whatever. Or I have a friend, they are loser, whatever is the case. Now it's your obligation, like mine, to find people around you support you. And now with the where we are, with a lot of possibility, you have the possibility to don't scroll in the social media, but to organize your social media to find with chronology wherever you want is so important. If you are focalized like me to bring my abundance external to the next level through the real estate, every day I study something clear where I need to go. And it's so important that around you, you have people, friends, community to support you. Because what's happening when you don't have this, automatically you will bring down too if you have a clarity.
No, yeah, that makes a lot of sense for sure. Let's shift a little bit into your book. I'm going to use an age, although I'm pretty sure that I know your answer, but they say that writing a book is 98% procrastination and 2% actually writing it. In your case, how true is that?
In my case, I want to share why wrote this book. It's coming when during the pandemic, I have a really traveling life. Let me let me share with you. It means I create a business where I possible travel, decide when I want, where I need to go, because I create 3 strategy in my investment. First of all is flipping. Second of all, creation of cash flow. Third of all is the 20x land creation. And what's happening during 2021, I don't possible go back to Italy, and I starting to feel obligated to create something to share with more people as possible. And what's happening, I create a beautiful way to write a book. I started to write, every day 2,000 words, 2,000 words, 2,000 words, 2,000 words, 2,000 words, with no procrastinate, but with the more easy way to create whatever you want in your life. Do small step every day. And because I told you, I coming from a background of sport where at really young age, my friend, they go out, they drink, they do party. In my case, I do multiple time training a day, couple of times. I need to wake up in the Sunday really early to play. I have did really this is my power, resilience, and be on every day, do small step to create something more bigger during my process of my life.
And to everybody who's thinking about writing a book, because there's lots of people that think about doing it and they just don't do it because they think that there's challenges. What would you say was the most challenging part about putting out the book?
Beautiful question. The challenging part, Chris, is about assembly, put in the step by step, the framework of your idea of the book. Means framework is the most important part in each part of our life, in each part of our business. Framework is means with the story, with the strategy, and with action. Now, the part is to create a correct, the book is something so important because the difficulty is create a framework where each chapter of your book working together and close and open a new question to somebody read the book. And for me, I'm really proud to this book because I know this book will give to the people they read not only clarity about what I share, because I don't create, I assemble this method, I take the information and I share to people and I tell why meditation is so important. And I take big name from university to, confirmation of the what I share with the audience. And the same in real estate. I explain step by step the process. Now, the really difficult part is to create a sequence of information where the people ought to read and to stay on top to book to see what's happening in the next chapter.
And what did you do to sort of get over that challenge? Did you use editors or software?
Yes. Yeah, what's happening is this one. When I wrote the book, the first step, I decide to write certain amount every day of the work for my book. I starting what is coming from the divine. It means now I am clarity. And if I have this method before, I will don't suffer like before. Means I now build my inner peace is not every time. I working every day in this. It means one day I feel super powerful, another day I less powerful. But the important part I working with this method. What this means, like so important, first of all, I create the inner part, and this is the first step. It means create this inner part where everybody they possible utilize to create energy. And the second part of the book is related to real estate, what the vehicle create for me. And after I create all this information, create like in two big trunk, after I go to the editor, they review me, they review all the information. I create the name of a single chapter because I have already in mind, because book is something you have inside you, but you need to put outside, and you need to have everybody. We have a story, but sometimes the story we forgot. And after I create, the everything together means the method and real estate where it's not really make sense. I started to create the name of the chapter and started to divide the different kind of piece of the information in each chapter. And after the editors coming, review everything. And the most important part, I think so, like everything in our life, because I believe to sell my book is a bestseller in Amazon, and my goal is to sell 18,000 units of this book to give to these people the correct information to moving forward. I think so, like the most important part now I am is the marketing sides, because without marketing, any kind of business don't work and don't make sense. It's really important to tell somebody wanna write a book. First of all, find inside you what is your story, put outside, wrote something, and after you create single chapter, and with this single chapter you have more clarity. And after this one, working in the marketing aspect, the most important part.
I like that. Thank you. Thank you for sharing.
You're welcome.
What's your favorite part of the
The favorite part of the book, I will be attached for the story initially, and the part of the book is part of where is mixed the story plus powerful information evaluate from university and financial free through the real estate. Means I love the combination of this. When I read the book, you see in my back, I have only one part. In my house, I have really a lot of book. When I read the book, a lot of time I read something where the book don't bring anywhere. They give you only how I possible share information where you don't possible focalize in something concrete. I am the opposite because I am pragmatic, sensible investor, and I explain better what this means. I want to share with people something is not theory, but something where they understand why it's so important to do this method, plus why it's so important they need to use a vehicle like real estate, and the same time, when they read the day after or the same day, they possible starting the method and they possible starting the real estate. If I want to share with you this book, the information in this book have, a value inside, and I don't want to be I don't want to result a big number, but a couple of $1 million. And I explain why. Because this information for me, all the method and all the mistake I make in real estate, I share inside the book how don't make this kind of mistake and how really find the opportunity in the market. This means now it's beautiful because when I becoming author, before a lot of people, they ask me, wow, why, how you doing this? How you doing that? How you make so much money in this deal, whatever. And the beautiful about becoming author is this. Immediately when they ask me, because they want to have the hot information, the hot salts, I tell them, okay, you want to know the hot salt? Read the book, and like how I doing every day, you will be capable to do. But what's happening, a lot of people, they want the secret. It's no secret in nothing. The secret is create a method. Inside the book, I create this method. First of all, create the inner part. Second of all, the real estate part, where I explain where find the, which kind of website, which kind of information, which kind of script you need to utilize to speak with people. And after, the result will be the same of me, becoming financially freedom. Now, how long will take depend only with your capacity to go after your goal. Because now I already listening, somebody listening this audience, they will tell me, yeah, it's easy for you because you have now money, wherever. Bullshit. If you want to do in real estate something in United States, I explain in United States is the most beautiful country because money is everywhere. The important part is find deal. When you find deal, you find investor, private lender, private human being, they lend the money, wherever. But the part most important is more difficult, find the deal. And over here, I explain everything from create the inner part, the inner power to create the external abundance.
Wow, definitely sounds like it's a good read. It's available on Amazon and in other locations as well.
Yes, is an Amazon, they possible find, and through my website too, www.healthyrichandhappy.com. But wherever is easy for them, and I will love you guys buy this book because I believe in the message, not for my ego, and to demonstrate this, all my provent or all my money is coming from this book. I donate to an association called Hermano de la Calle. Is this association is in Miami. They help homeless to have another time dignity in their life, and I give this money to them. And the only my goal is to elevate other human being, how other people elevate my life. And I want to really through this book share what changed my life. And I believe like is my part of my life, this method, MPB, plus the real estate is part every day of my life, you know?
And this has certainly been an interesting discussion, Jacopo, and definitely grateful for having you here on the show today and all the insights that you shared. We are coming up pretty close to the time. Is there anything that you wish I would have asked but didn't ask, or anything that you wish we would have covered but didn't?
Yes, I will ask to myself to share to your audience which kind the difficulty you have in your life. This is the question I will ask, because what's happening, a lot of your audience, they will think about when other human beings, they have success in their life, they think about success is coming from a gold world, where in reality, it's not like this. I go through a lot of pain from really young age, a lot of sufferance, and this sufferance bring me to the other part of the sides of the coin. Means, if you're listening this podcast, you have every day when you wake up, it's not like a rhetoric word, the possibility to change your life immediately. Because remember, if you read all the important book, the Quran, the Bible, the Israeli book, you will find something important. Every day is a new chapter of your life. Now, wherever is past, from in the past is in the past. Wherever is the new, to the new day will give you the possibility to moving forward. Now you decide where you want to go every day, and you don't have excuse, because remember, everybody creates something in their life bigger or better, whatever you want to call bigger and better, depend, because bigger and better depend from each human being. But in this society is like, unfortunately, the money is one part. What I want to share is so important to believe in what you do every day.
Such a powerful note to end the show on. Thank you so much for being here once again. To all our listeners, we are going to put this in the show notes. We'll put a link to the book as well as a link to the website so that you'll be able to find things easier. And once again, thank you for tuning in and listening. And just remember, if you can't find that inspiration or motivation for yourself today, maybe just go out and try to be that motivation and inspiration for someone else. And we'll see you again next time.